Gonna do another post-run little thing. As I said, you catch your breath and all that, but your mind stays nice and active. I'm not even the biggest runner, well, I'm a terrible runner, let's just be honest. But I like to mix in some cardio with all the other stuff I do to stay healthy, and I think aside the physical gains, there's some definite mental things. Like, I kind of feel a nice mental charge. That's why I like to do these. And it's also really nice, as you can maybe hear, the birds are overwhelming me. It's kind of cool to be out in the nature and all that stuff and just running around a little bit. It's relaxing. But obviously I advocate exercise as a way to cheer yourself up or anything. But the other thing, too, I realized is I've had a couple bouts of bad luck recently. I had something go very awry with a coworker who don't know how that situation is going to play out right now, but basically, long story short, he acted very inappropriately because he was a little sour that someone who was less qualified, less educated, and been there shorter didn't get a promotion, and I did. And you can guess who this person who he was patting himself on the back. Yeah. But he made an error in letting everybody know this, and not everybody was very happy about this, so it kind of got passed around. And by that, I mean he sent reply all. So we don't know exactly who he was trying to gripe to, but, it kind of does hurt your feelings. And it makes you also a little cross that one of the people who you took under your wing to help get used to the company and all that stuff gets angry when you move up. I mean, I'm still going to be a direct boss of his, so it's not like we're not going to see each other or anything, so I don't really get where this stunt came from. But, as I said, I hope that they're lax on him, because as I said, roll with the punches. I'm qualified for a promotion, he's not. I've been there longer, so I don't get why he thinks that he'd get it. But, as I said, we all get a little cross, and these things does take a hit to your ego, even. I mean, obviously I got a little cross about the thing, but whatever. I got snaked out of some vacation stuff, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Obviously, exercise, good, healthy outlet for this. And another thing I was thinking, too, that just really let me soak it in. Everyone gets a little bummed out here and there, and they treat themselves a little bit to get the funk out, maybe buy a slice of cake, watch a movie, something like that. Got one of those really fancy, nice cups of coffee. I can't even tell you where this came from. That was the best part of it. I was sitting there talking to the barista, or coffee engineer, or whatever term they're using today, and I rarely treat myself to coffee. I mean, I like to make it at home. I can choose what I want and everything like that. I have a French press and all that because I really like my coffee. I take it seriously. So it's rare that I go out and buy a cup. $3.50 later or whatever that cost me. I had my little cup of coffee, and it was really good. It was a nice cup, but definitely not worth it. But the convenience, and as I said, sometimes a little pat on the back of, you can have a good cup of coffee at work, because our work coffee sucks. So where this is all going is a way to just get all those funks off and all the jade and crossness and all that. Is just sit back and sit there and let that sink in. It was a lot of money, $3.50 for a cup of coffee, whatever. I can afford it. I'm not really mad. It's a rare treat. But I sat down and stepped even farther back to where it is. This comes from, I don't even know where, but probably Africa, maybe Asia, somewhere. And they bring it over, and this is after it's harvested and grown and supported, and you can't just magically grow things. You gotta weed it and harvest and water and all this for months, and then you got to take it out, and then you got to package it, and then you got to roast it, and then you got to grind it, and then you got to add it to water, and then you got to heat it. So you go through this whole process. I know it's not very technological to explain how a cup of coffee makes, but as I said, for this, just step back and work with me here. You go through all of this stuff, and it could be any other cup of coffee, your local chain or 7-Eleven, or if you're lucky to live near where I do, you can have a Wawa. And you get all this, and it's like $1. You think about it, the minimum wage, you could buy multiple of these things from a different continent. it's incredible. You think about all the amount of work and labor to come in to get these things and how affordable they are. I mean, you go back literally thousands of years, tell Julius Caesar, oh yeah, everybody can get ice cubes, man. It's not a big deal. You just go up to your fridge. Most people, even people who don't have a lot of money, you have a button you press and ice cubes come out. You would go, no. I mean, obviously, technology would impress a lot of people from the past, but you start thinking about these things. You can get ice cubes. Maybe if you're lucky, you could get them in the summer back then. Refrigerators, all these things, these common things. You just have to step back and just go, wow, I got it pretty good. And I think for me, that definitely wiped some of the grunge off and the crankiness. So that, I had a good run. You can tell I'm still sweating, and well, the sun's helping me sweat some more. But I got some good things coming up, and I guess that's all I wanted to say is, just little bad things happen to all of us. Just do something good to wipe it off, and more so, look it around and let those little things sink in even more. As I said, it might not be your favorite movie you go see or something, but you go see a movie. Think about how many people were involved in making it and how much work, and at the end of the day, you did that for $10 or whatever, or a matinee even, if you $5, you get to see all that. $100 million sunk into something. This project, just for art's sake. And you get to take part in that phenomenon for $5. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I guess that's another thing. It's just, it's very easy to get yourself bummed out and to find things that'll make you upset or worry about things with politics and blah, blah, blah. But I find the easiest way is just simplify how little things can be and how big things can be, Nobody's trying to invade me right now. That's a plus. People have been worried about that for tens of thousands of years. Some people are still worried about that today. Nobody's been breaking my house tonight. And, I don't have to worry about having limbs cut off or anything crazy. I got a hospital. It's all these little things. Just let them go, man. Just be happy. It's so easy. And people just don't seem to choose to be. And that's kind of what bothers me at times, is it's way easier to be happy. It doesn't take a lot. As I said, that cup of coffee. You think about all that work into it, you can get it for less. You can get 2 of them. And these are the fancy stuff for the price of a minimum wage 1 hour work in the U.S. It's incredible. Just look at anything you got in your house. Think about it. And just think about how much worse it could be. I know that's not always the best way to get yourself out of a funk, but when it's the little things, I'm not saying, look at your TV and think about, wow, this came from China, Koreans built it, and it was designed by the Japanese, and the cathodes, and then, go through all that. That's not the way to get yourself out of something like when your dog dies. But, it's when you just have a bad day. Let that stuff soak in, washes you right clean. So, there's my little advice about how to not jade yourself too much. And I'm going to go take a shower, because I'm probably gross.